Tired of ordinary events and boring activations? Want your brand to be the main attraction, not just another logo in the room? PromoToss games and promo products make it happen. PromoToss adds excitement and turns your events into high-energy experiences with in-demand interactive merch. From trade show games and tailgate classics to oversized giants and more. Whether it's indoor, outdoor, or all season long, PromoToss has it all. This isn't merch you toss in a bag. This is engagement people crave. All with free mockups, in-house design, no setup fees, and flexible orders. To get started with a free packet of mockups featuring your logo, send your logo to PromoToss.com today.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Promo Perspectives. I am your host, Nicole Cook, and today I am joined by Sage's very own creative director, Cristi Brinkman. Thank you for joining us, Cristi.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. As you guys may or may not know, Sage recently unveiled an all-new Sage Design Studio, formerly Sage Virtual Design Studio. And besides just the name, we've unleashed a bunch of new features, and I figured who better to talk about them with than someone who's using design tools every day in their day-to-day.
Exactly.
Yes, so we're going to just jump right into it.
All right.
And my first question is just so that we can help the listeners understand is, can you share a little bit more about your role as a creative director and how do you use design tools in your day-to-day?
Yeah, so a big part of my role is across marketing, branding, and sales, and translating the strategy into creative. And in order to get there, I use a number of different design tools and workflows, but there's always one constant need, which is visual understanding.
And how do you get to that visual understanding?
Well, we get there with visual references, of course, and representation and mock-ups, putting everything into context. And so teams can be aligned, as well as there's no guessing, and we can get to faster decisions based on that.
Yeah. And do you find that you have had to, maybe you're not doing it here, but do you have to hop between different tools, or is that something that you've seen other designers come across?
Yeah, specifically, like in talking about specifically with promo and client work, there are a lot of tools that you have to like jump in between, and especially when you're coming up with a mock-up, let's just say, like the old way is like you are bouncing between your email folders to find that client logo or art that is ready, and then putting it into Photoshop to clean it up and remove the background or scale it up. That's a huge thing too.
Yep.
And a product and then you go into Sage Workplace, a product database, to find the right product or search for it over the internet, and then back into the design to like skew the art to make it look real, and then finally build out your deck. But oh wait, you need something to really sell that. And so you need a lifestyle image, of course. And the list keeps going on and on and on.
Yeah.
And so not to even mention all the windows that are probably open on your screen.
Oh gosh, I can only imagine.
You can't even find. So it's a very like bloated process. And so that's what is so exciting about Sage Design Studio. And it's a purpose-built workflow for those mock-ups.
Yeah,
and it
I love
simplifies the whole process.
Purpose-built workflow is a really good way to describe that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. So when you're creating visuals quickly, what sort of features would you rely on to save time but not sacrifice quality?
Yeah, so layers are going to be a huge thing, especially when you are in the beginning of a creative process and you're needing to create iterations or options. And then also with expanding backgrounds or the use of AI is huge. And so a lot of programs have developed AI solutions in order to do that. And directing it. You're directing basically what you want out of an image into ChatGPT. Am I allowed to say that? Yep. ChatGPT or anything like that.
Yeah. Similar tools, yes.
Yeah, similar tools. And with AI prompts.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's awesome. And I'm sure when you're working just even internally or when you're working with clients, like how important is it to be able to make changes and update creative? Like you might have come up with your creative, you would have gone through all of those steps.
Yeah.
Now you have feedback. How important is it to be able to make those changes kind of on the fly?
Yeah, so that is something to keep that momentum going and not have a project stall. So in order to have like better collaboration, it's the fastest way to get alignment on a project is in order to like, make those changes quickly. That way everyone can react and decide and move forward.
Yeah, because you don't want people sitting on something for too long and
No.
forgetting the conversations they had and anything like that. That makes total sense. So what are some tasks that you find to be really tedious that maybe are not so tedious with our design studio?
Yeah, so the biggest thing that comes to mind is fixing low quality logos, right? And this was back in the day during client work, of course. It's in like not having a high quality logo would really stall the job. Like,
I'm sure there's a lot of listeners right now nodding their heads like,
oh
yes.
yeah, it would definitely stall the job. So in Design Studio, what is amazing for me is you don't even have to think about it. Like you can upload it and it automatically scales it up for you.
Yeah, that is really, really awesome. And just so if anybody who doesn't know, it's Sage's AI that they have developed. Like
Yes.
we've developed that ourselves. And that we are now, you have the ability to just upscale an image, doesn't matter what someone sent to you.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, I can see how that is a huge time saver.
Oh yeah, that definitely is.
All right, so let's talk a little bit, speaking about artwork and things like that, talk about logo cleanup. How do you utilize different erase options if maybe you need to hone in on a specific part of a logo or make any adjustments to it? How do erase options help you?
Yeah, so having all the tools in your tool belt to do different scenarios of like, it depends on if the logo is over a seam or whatever it may be. So sometimes you can just hit the easy button, which is our erase tools, like Smart Erase tool that we have in Sage Design, or sometimes you need a little bit of more control and precision, and so that is allowed as well with the polygon erase tools.
Yeah, and I've, as a non-designer, I have used both options, and it really is like the Smart Eraser works so well.
Yeah.
And then, if you ever need just like a little bit more of a clean line, it's also very easy and intuitive to outline exactly what you need gone and it's goodbye.
Or just draw over it, right?
Exactly.
It really does blow my mind how things have changed within the past decade or longer. I'm just going to say a decade.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So you spoke about layers earlier.
Yeah.
And I feel like layers are second nature for designers, but obviously we're going to have people who are familiar with this and who maybe are not familiar with it. So how do layers help you stay organized and kind of experiment creatively? And I'm going to, before you start, just say for people listening, I work with Cristi and I've seen her work with layers. She's a layer master. And as far as working with creativity, the way that you are able to like, try this idea, try that idea. I'm giving a preview, but I've kind of seen it. So I'm interested to hear your answer. It's awesome to see.
Oh my gosh. Let me try and explain it. But layers are about control and also a way for you to stay organized, right? And all within, let me rephrase that. It's about you staying organized within the same file. And so that's the biggest thing, right? Is being able to load the product up that you're wanting to mock up and be able to create different options from there with the layers of turning them on or off or whatever that may be. I think that an easy way that we can like think about it is layers are like objects in front of you. If you think the t-shirt is right in front of you and then like you have two different logo sizes to try out, you have a 5-inch logo cut out and you have a 10-inch logo cut out, you can place them right in front of you on the t-shirt and think of those as layers. So if I don't need the 5-inch one, I'm gonna put it off to the side. Or within Design Studio, you would turn off that layer. So if you think about them as objects, then that's an easier way to think about it.
I haven't heard of it that way, but that's a really good way to put it. Yes. Just like this is layers that we have in front of us
Yeah,
today.
same thing, same thing.
That's a really great way to put it. So when you're designing for, you kind of touched on this, but for real life products like a tumbler or a mug, like how would you use layers? And then what are some other tools like maybe shape controls or curves that could help kind of bring that mock-up to life?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is really making sure that the mock-up doesn't look fake. Of course, it looks like, and like, because a lot of times it looks like it's just like a sticker that is on a mug or placed on top of that mug. So like using the Skew tool, like you can go with along the shape of that mug because it's a roundness. And I mean, the trick too is that the client only focuses on what's off sometimes, right? And they can't articulate that. So using those Skew tools or making sure that the logo looks a little bit more real. Realism is what sells that concept too.
Yeah, so I get, you would say that other details like shadow, gradients, things like that, would you say that is also what helps to make it feel more real?
Oh, yes, totally.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yep.
So another thing that you kind of touched on at the beginning of this was talking about having, like, people want to see things in context, and that helps especially non-designers understand exactly what they should expect.
Yeah.
So how important is it for clients to see their branded merchandise in context?
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely important, and it's not just the clients, it's the client's customer that wants to see it in that context too, that's going to get excited to see it in that. And so, I know we're talking about the create a scene thing. You can do mock-ups, of course, that are like on a white background or whatever else, but like actually seeing it in scene or the lifestyle or in context of how the end user is going to use it, or like I say, in its natural habitat, is an amazing thing. Yeah. And it blows my mind in Design Studio how real it makes it look.
Right, yes.
It's crazy.
It really is. You can now in Design Studio, someone can literally click on create a scene.
Yeah.
And then that scene is created, and you take that mock-up that you already had and it places it, you can say, place it in on a beach, and now you have a mug on a beach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's just that quick too. I feel like in the time that we spoke about it, it would have created it.
Oh, it already would have. Yeah.
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 So that's, and then how does that help get, like, what does that do for buy-in when people can see that product in context like that?
It gets them excited, and so people like really truly understand like where they're going to use this, right? And it honestly just creates the excitement of for the clients and the customers.
Yeah, I feel like that could be really cool for maybe some of those more unique promotional products that you might want to pitch to a client, like someone who would be like, yeah, that's cool, but how would I use it? Like that could be a really cool place that you can say, well, let me tell you exactly.
And I think that like speaks to like, you know, it's kind of like use it within reason, right? And so it's like maybe not have a mug like, you know, on a beach.
Yes, probably not.
That's why it's like more speak to like the natural habitat of like where that user is going to use it, but it's always like within reason and with logic and purpose of like seeing it being put into a scene.
Mug on a beach might be a little too sandy.
Hey, you might, right? So
So to wrap it up, is there anything else that you want to make sure that you get across today, or anything that you think would be helpful for people, whether they are a designer or not?
Yeah, that's a different podcast, but Design Studio is a focused mock-up tool. It's great. It's not the full beast like some of the design tools that we've used or workflows that we've had in the past that have been extremely bloated. It does one job extremely well, gets artwork on the product fast for you to send out to your clients.
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was truly a very, to play on the title's name, a unique perspective to hear about Sage Design Studio, to hear from someone who is using design tools all the time, and to say like this Design Studio, it's the real deal. And it is truly such a game changer for designers, non-designers alike. Really. Yeah. Thank you so much again for joining us today.
Thank you.
And thank you everybody for listening. We will see you back on our next episode of Promo Perspectives.